Go.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this information session about the Community Business Academy. I'm your host for the evening and instructor, Chef Rashonda Grant. A little bit about me. I am an entrepreneur myself. I've been an entrepreneur in Charleston for about 10 years, working in the hospitality space, and now food and bev as well. And I own the Carolina Cookery, where we do hands-on cooking classes as well as catering and private dining. So I've been in the food and bev space for a bit. But once upon a time, I worked in nonprofit as well as government. And I attended college and all that fun stuff with a specialization in organizational management and strategic planning. So that is the lens by which I come to teach this class. And I'm very, very excited. As Jackie mentioned earlier, this will be my fourth time teaching the community business cohort. And I'm really super excited because oftentimes we've done this class, and every other time it's been for entrepreneurs from all different walks of life and different industries. And this time we get to do one that is food and bev specific. And obviously that's where my heart lies. So I'm really excited to be able to share a little bit more in depth than, I get to nerd out on some things with you guys. So I'm really excited about that. I just have a lot of information that I'm looking forward to sharing in this cohort. So if you are here, it is because you are interested in starting a business and you're interested in learning more about the Community Business Academy. And so let's talk about it. So, Community Business Academy is being hosted by Low Country Local First. Had an opportunity to meet Jackie earlier, and she is the executive director. But if you're unfamiliar and you're like, what is Low Country Local First? The best way that I can explain it to people is like a nonprofit chamber of commerce. They are here to support local businesses and entrepreneurs by advocating, educating, and promoting small businesses in and around the Low Country. That's the easiest way that I can explain it. They do a lot of really amazing things. They put on events to showcase and highlight local businesses, to networking events. You'll see in that picture that I'm in there on a slightly better hair day. That's an event called Chef's Potluck that I love to participate in as a chef. We get connected when paired with local farmers, and then we get to create dishes using their ingredients and our skills, and then everyone gets to come out and enjoy it. So that's really amazing. That second photo is from our inaugural pitch competition. That is Christina Miller, the owner of Burt's and Teas, and she won a hefty, it looks like $10,000 for that pitch competition. And that's an event that we put on every year. We also host this class in Spanish. So there's that portion. And then you see some photos from our networking mixers, our Good Business Summit, and then just that little red pop-up tent out and about in the community telling people to support local small businesses. So that's just a snippet, a sliver of what Low Country Local First does. And the Community Business Academy falls under that education slash training component when it comes to supporting small businesses and entrepreneurs. If you are old enough to remember life in the early 2000s, there was a bit of an economic downturn in 20, no, that was 2008. We had a bit of a recession, and the federal administration at the time was like, "Hey, what's going on? How can we like maybe not do this again?" And what they found was in areas that had a strong local economy, they were more resilient to economic impacts at the national level. And when they were like, okay, so what makes for a strong local economy? And they found that small, locally owned businesses with lots of local support can help create the foundations of a strong local economy. And it's like, great, got it. How do we make better business owners? So, with that encouragement and a lot of research, that is how an organization called Rising Tide Capital created the Community Business Academy and the curriculum that we're going to be using for this course. So, all that to say is, no, this isn't just some stuff I made up and some things that I think you should need to know. Like, this since 2008, I think that I don't want to age myself, but that puts us at like what, 15, 16 years? 18 years? Oh my God, 18 years. Anywho, it's not. Anywho, so yeah, it's been a minute. But since that time, what we've had is we've got some data, right? We can look back and see how has this curriculum been performing. And what we have found is of the entrepreneurs who complete this program, this 12-week curriculum, they have found that 87% of entrepreneurs who complete the Community Business Academy go on to have a survival rate beyond the 5-year mark. So when you talk about entrepreneurships failing in that first couple of years, not for Community Business Academy graduates, at least not for 87% of them. What they have also found is that within 2 years, they will see an increase, a 58% increase in household income. They have also found that within 2 years, they will have an average of a 112% increase in business income. So if you already have started your small business and you're making $100,000, you could estimate to make about $220,000 within 2 years if you apply the information that you're learning in this class. And that's just what the data has shown us historically to have happened. That is not a guarantee, but I do like those odds for all of us. So that's what you're getting. That's what we hope to accomplish with this, and that's what we have found to be true. And we want to keep that. We want to keep the good things rolling. So the Community Business Academy falls under the Good Enterprise umbrella of Low Country Local First operations. And again, that was launched in 2019. And again, as a catalyst for reshaping the local economy and our ecosystem, the entrepreneurial ecosystem, if you will. And you see, again, I don't know if you saw the before and after. I'm gonna do a quick side by side. So if you look at that second photo, that's Christina Miller when she won that $10,000. And this is Christina Miller again. And she has that beautiful food truck. And again, she also had she put in a lot of sweat equity and a lot of hard work herself, but that's just some of the growth. She has since gone on. She's now selling products nationally through Goldbelly. She and I work out of the same commissary kitchen, and she's still doing amazingly well. So that's all that to say is this has been an amazing vehicle to see entrepreneurial growth. On the right, you have Serena Singleton, and she is another Community Business Academy graduate, as well as she's gone on to become an instructor as well. I believe she's going to be doing some fabulous headshots for us, but she is a branding genius. I love her work. I actually have a photo shoot scheduled with her on Friday, but hopefully you'll get the chance to see her, as well as some more of her good work moving forward. So these are just two mini success stories. As you will notice, we like to network within the Community Business Academy graduates. Like it's like getting in the cool club. Once you're in, and we get to know each other. We do work together. So that's also yet another way that Low Country Local First helps to foster community relationships between entrepreneurs and making sure that we have the opportunity to kind of support one another and find out about opportunities. And that's just one of the many things. So let's talk a little bit more specifically about the Community Business Academy and what you can expect in these 12 weeks of classes, right? This is not like a typical school environment. This program is designed for adult learners. I don't know about you. There will probably be people in this class that are older than me. And all that to say is I do understand that everyone is coming to this table with different life experiences and different educational backgrounds and things that you have learned and, just different work experience too. And everyone is going to be bringing a lot to the table. So when we get into the classroom, if you will, we like to lean on those around us and kind of learn from everyone who's there. A lot of the activities are very, very group based. There's going to be a lot of group feedback and thinking and problem solving together. There are a couple of interactive game opportunities where you kind of get to form teams and create little mini businesses and compete against one another. I don't know why everybody takes that game way too seriously. It's very competitive and it's hilarious. I look forward to it every year. But the program is designed for individuals with a strong business idea. So you've got a good idea of what you want to start your business on, and then we can go from there. You don't have to have any educational experience. There's no background requirements. You must be 18 years or older with a desire to start a for-profit business. If you're interested in doing a nonprofit, stick around after the call. We can point you in the right direction for some other resources. But this is for people who are looking to start a for-profit business. All right, we will cover a myriad of topics over these next few weeks, or not next few weeks, but once we start, including everything from business idea feasibility. So if you're still at like the very, very beginnings and you just know that you've got a talent and a passion, but you're not really sure exactly how you want to apply it, we can work through a couple different ideas and feasibility and just test them out and see which one you might think. We can help workshop that. And then everything to competition analysis, fundraising, capital, understanding your business cycle, financial planning, negotiating, market research, profit and loss statements, the basics of bookkeeping, budgeting, business planning, operations, cash flow management. All of that sounds like a lot. You don't have to write it all down just now, but just know that we are going to touch on all of those things. And hopefully at the end of this 12 weeks, you will have a well thought out, you will have a well fleshed out business idea that you can either start working on during the 12 weeks or be ready to pull the trigger on at the end of that 12 weeks. You should have a really fleshed out plan for your business, where you want to go, and how you want to accomplish it and what you should be able to expect. There is a section where we kind of do projections. So you can kind of see like, all right, if I do this business at this level and I make these sales, what can I reasonably expect to make? Which is also just really fun. So that way it kind of brings it home and you're like, do I still want to do this? Once you see the numbers, like, am I going to put myself through this for that much money? And maybe the answer is yes, because you're going to be like, that's a lot of money. And then maybe the answer is no, because what have you. All right. So you keep hearing me say, you may hear me go back and forth between saying 12 weeks and 13 weeks. The first week is orientation. So yes, you are required to be there. We're going to touch on a few topics, but that doesn't count as like a week one lesson. What is required to complete the 12/13 weeks? You have to attend that orientation, and you must attend 100% of your classes after that. This is an in-person class. So we're going to do this orientation on Zoom, but knock on wood, hopefully not having any other global pandemics or anything else, we will be meeting in person. So the expectation is that you come to class in person. That being said, we are all adults with very full lives. If there's an emergency or if something happens, we totally understand. Communicate, let us know if you're not going to be there. Get with your classmates and colleagues, because sometimes I drop some really great gems in class, and you might want to get those notes. But other than that, expectation is that you'll be there. We do allow for one emergency absence. There are 10 homework assignments over the course of these 12 weeks. Those must be completed. Before you freak out, I also hate homework, have hated it my whole life. It's not that kind of homework. It is you working on your actual business. You will receive a lovely, I hate the Zoom screen, but anywho, you'll receive this lovely handy dandy curriculum. This is still mine. I still have mine. And it has a lot of worksheets and spreadsheets and things where you can go through and actually plan out your business. If we're talking about making a budget, here's an example of what that looks like. So the homework is going to be doing assignments like that. And then you bring it back and we can look through it and give you some feedback, both myself and we will likely have a co-instructor. Or assistant instructor, and to be able to look through that and give feedback, because sometimes there are expenses that you don't know. If you're going to be operating within City of Charleston, you got to pay hospitality tax as well, and maybe you only budgeted for sales tax. So just being able to catch little things like that. Yeah. I see that face, Victoria. Same. So just being able to see things like that, it's not to pick it apart. It's not a pass or fail. It's just getting another set of eyes on your business plan and where you're going. And maybe sometimes it's like, oh, I love where this is going. Let me introduce some other resources that maybe didn't know were available, or hey, here's a great website for resources and access and etc. So that's the kind of things that it'll be focused on when it's exercise. Like when we say, who's your target market, who's your demographic, we'll kind of walk through that and actually get some eyes on those numbers. Where's my demographic? Where are these people shopping? How much are they spending? And how do I get them to spend that money with me? So that's what those homework assignments look like. They will all be very specific to your business. It is imperative that those homework assignments get done on time because one, they build on top of one another. So we'll be referring back to that assignment you did in week one. So it's important that you have it completed. Also, it's going to be more of y'all than there are of me. And in order for me to stay on top of getting the feedback on these homework assignments, I got to get them on time. If we wait till week 5 to bum rush me with 5 weeks of assignments from 20 different students, it's all bad. So yes, get those assignments in. And like I said, there's only 10 of them and we got a 12-week class. So you got a little wiggle room there. What happens after graduation? That's my favorite time. After graduation, you guys will receive 1 year complimentary membership to Low Country Local First. And with that comes a lot of great resources, perks, etc. There are always workshops and activities that are being put on by Low Country Local First. I think right now there's a credit to capital workshop scheduled very soon. So if you have completed your business and you're ready to start seeking out business capital or applying for business loans, that is an excellent workshop to attend. And those are often provided at low or no cost to Low Country Local First members. There are networking opportunities regularly. Some of them are industry specific. I am in the food and bev space. Most of you will be as well. I think we had a food entrepreneurs meetup. I think it was last month at Salt House Commissary, which is a brand new commissary kitchen that just opened on James Island. So we got a chance to meet with the owners, take a tour of their space. So if that's something that people were interested in, they got a chance to meet and network and also check out that amazing new space. If you have a tangible fruit product, there's a retail residency opportunity. So maybe you make a jam, a jelly, a shelf-stable item that can sit on a shelf in a retail location, but you don't not sure how to go about that process. There is space out at the Navy Yard, I believe, which is in North Charleston, and it's a gift shop. And it's like we have a little retail residency that Low Country Local First kind of maintains that space, and different Community Business Academy graduates can place their products at that location for people to buy. So instead of you having to like meet your customers or hey, meet me at the Target parking lot, you can say our products are available for purchase at this location. So that's really cool. There's an alumni newsletter, which always has really amazing information, different access about information, grants, opportunities I've seen in there, networking, all that good stuff. If you ever need to meet with a client, there we have access to the local works office. So maybe you need a co-working space, maybe you need to meet with clients, maybe you've got a presentation, maybe you need to do a tasting of some sort. You can do that at that local works office. Low Country Local First members get discounted access. You can get just a day pass if maybe you just need a clean slate or a clean space to work out of. So that's a great opportunity. We already touched on the Capital Collective, which is also that credit to capital. And then we touched a little bit on the pitch competition. As we go through this class, it's not like a set in the assignment, but Low Country Local First does a pitch competition every year. We also offer the Community Business Academy in Spanish, La Academia. So sometimes every other year it's in Spanish, and then every other year it's in English. So it goes Spanish, English, Spanish, English, as far as the pitch competition. So we do kind of work on what we call your elevator pitch, where you can tell people about your business in 60 seconds or less, 90 seconds or less. And I kind of work with everybody, kind of build them up. I think everybody should be able to have like a 5-minute pitch about your business, and then maybe like a 2-minute pitch about your business, and anywhere in between. So you can quickly tell somebody what it is you do, and maybe they want to invest in you, or maybe they want to come shop with you, or maybe they want to come eat with you. So that's how that works. We do practice our pitches during the course of the week. So at the very least, you are ready to participate in that pitch competition by the end of the cohort, or you can participate in other pitch competitions, which is really cool. All right, so what does it take to be a successful applicant? Again, you must have a desire to start or grow your business. You must have demonstrated enthusiasm. You must attend the orientation plus the 12 classes and the 10 homework assignments. Your business must be legal and cannot be destructive to the community. If you are curious about what that entails, just stick around. I'll be happy to answer that for you. You must be 18 years or older. You have to have a passion to succeed and a commitment to your business idea and willingness to work on it during class. That's probably the biggest one. As I have mentioned before, this is going to be 12 weeks in the fall from 6 to 9 p.m. And I understand that that is a huge time commitment. And as an entrepreneur, we quickly learn that time is money. And I very much value your time as much as I value my own. So I want to make sure that every minute we spend in that class is going to be worth the time and worth the investment. Daylight savings time is probably going to kick in about 3 or 4 weeks in the class. It's going to be dark. We're going to be tired after a long day. So I get it. I understand. It is my desire to make sure that it is worth the time, it is worth the value, and I'm pouring as much of this into it as I can to make it worth attending for you all. So I do know that it gets rough after that about 2 month mark. You be like, look, I am still coming, but if you're willing to work on it, I'm willing to work on it with you. And we're probably going to have to pull all of ourselves across that finish line when it starts getting dark at 5:15 p.m. All right. So what does it cost? I hate that she spoils it by putting it out there in big letters, but the program fee for this is going to be $100. Now, I will be perfectly candid with you. A 13 week, that's basically a college semester. So on average, that's like depending on where you're going, that could be up to like $3,000 for the level of education that you're getting. I know for a fact that there are other organizations in Charleston that have a business incubator program that goes for about $1,500. And I don't know that the quality is this great. So all that being said, that program fee is $100. You are getting, like I said, you'll have your access to your materials. These are yours to keep. So with the guidebook, I honestly recommend writing in pencil so you can, if you decide to change your business idea, if you're like me, you hold on to it, you can refer back to it and revisit, revamp, update those numbers if you like. Um, and I keep mine handy. I'm at my place of business now, and I refer back to it often because sometimes you get so busy in the operations. You're like, what did I plan to do at the 4 year mark? Oh, yeah, that's the next phase. Like, how do I grow next? We planned for this. This is where we go next. So that will be yours and yours to keep forever and ever and always. You will also receive complimentary headshots. So if you don't already have a nice professional business headshot, there will be an opportunity during the course of this class for you to get that done. We will make sure to let you know in advance when that is. And so you can, if you're like, show up looking pretty. And then also like bring, if you wear apron, wear apron. If you wear a chef coat, bring your chef coat. If you've got props, bring that with you to make sure, make sure you're getting the headshot that you want to get. So um, blah, 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 blah. Our program fee is based on household income and sliding scale. So there's that. And we do recommend that everyone apply, 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 apply. All right. How do you apply? When you get the application, it is imperative to complete the entire application. There may be some questions that ask about, what do you want for your business? What are you struggling with now, et cetera, et cetera. Those are just to help me to understand, to make sure that I'm crafting this course to touch on topics. If everyone in the class applies and says, hey, I really want to get into online sales, I need to understand how to apply AI to my food business, then I will make sure that I am well versed on that topic and that we can incorporate that into the curriculum. If everybody just wants to know about, the legal ramifications, we'll make sure to have experts to talk to that. So that's what that portion of the application is for. I will ask to see that portion of the application. There will be other portions of the application that ask about your household income and your personal finances, and I will not see that portion of the application. So don't worry, all of that information will be kept private. But that's also, as I mentioned before, or maybe I didn't say it out loud, it is the program fee is usually on a sliding scale. So, and as you heard me saying that very first slide, well, maybe not the first slide, but our graduates have seen a 78% increase in household income. Well, how do we know that? Because we ask you in the beginning, how are you doing? And then we ask you at the end. And then we kind of check in with you once a year to say, how are things going? So that just kind of helps us to get those metrics and see. So that's why we kind of ask for that information. So when asked, you're like, why do I need to submit proof of income? We are a nonprofit, and tracking those numbers really helps us to show if we're making a difference and to know if we're making a difference. You will get sorry, we're asking for a copy that goes through our a secured portal. So fear not when it comes time to accessing that information, it is kept private. Um, and yeah, don't feel like we're judging your writing skills. It's not an essay contest. We're just trying to get an idea of where you are in your business, where you're looking to go, and to make sure that we're able to kind of meet that need. Before we close out, I do like to give a lovely shout out to some of our amazing sponsors and funders and supporters. Many great organizations help to make this happen this year, especially looking forward to partnering with the Culinary Institute of Charleston at Trident Technical Campus. As an alumna, I'm excited to be going back there. And also really excited to share that space. Hopefully, I can convince some of my old professors to let us like sneak in their classrooms and show off some of the fancy equipment and techniques and all that stuff. So really looking forward to being in that space and sharing this information. I think it's going to be really, really awesome. So this is hopefully this is the most y'all will hear me talk. This is a lot. So here we are on the road to the Community Business Academy. You have already inquired because you got the invitation to join us on this Zoom call today. You have attended the information session. That's what we just went through. The next step is to complete that application. So at the end of this call, you will get an email. If you registered and you got an email to join this Zoom call, you will get an email with a link to the application. If someone forwarded you the link to get on this Zoom call, I'm gonna make sure that you get Jackie's email at the end of this call. Just email her and be like, "Hey, I got the link from a friend." Worst case scenario, we'll just ask you to complete that inquiry form so that we actually get your information in our system, and then we'll just kind of fast track it through. But we'll just make sure that we go in and mark you down as yes, you attended the session, and then you're ready to get that application. Get that application in. Don't overthink it. Tell us where you are, what you want to do. If you're not sure, just say I'm not sure and we'll help you get there.